Mike McDonald should send a thank you card to John Schneider because the Seahawks GM found the perfect pick in the second round for this Seattle defense. Seahawks rookie safety Nick Emmanwori had a breakout game on Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons, stuffing the stat sheet with 6 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 1 interception, and a blocked field goal in the 37-9 blowout win for the Seahawks. According to Seattle, it was the first time in franchise history that a player had an interception, sack, and blocked field goal in the same game, and the first player in the NFL to do so in 15 years. That breakout game has vaulted Emmanwori into the Defensive Rookie of the Year race, putting him just behind Cleveland Browns linebacker Carson Schwezinger for second in awards odds on DraftKings. Games like Sunday are what Schneider and McDonald were hoping for when the Seahawks traded a pair of day 2 picks to move up and draft Emmanwori back in April. Emmanwori was a breakout college star for the South Carolina Gamecocks in 2024, earning All-American honors with 88 tackles, 4 interceptions, and a pair of defensive touchdowns. The production and accolades were nice, but it was Emmanwori's ridiculous athletic profile that had him skyrocketing up draft boards heading into the draft. Teams were already interested in Emmanwori because of his size at 6'3" and 220 pounds. But he turned heads at the NFL Combine with a 40-yard dash time of 4.38 seconds, a vertical jump of 43 inches, and an 11'6" broad jump. While he didn't log any agility testing, Emmanwori's Combine performance was so impressive that he posted a perfect 10.0 relative athletic score. The arguments against Emmanwori coming into the NFL were that he was a raw prospect, but that athletic ability combined with a defensive-minded head coach in Mike McDonald has helped the rookie safety start to look like this era's version of an all-time Seahawks legend in Kam Chancellor. Chancellor was a similar playmaker during Seattle's Legion of Boom era, bringing great size and playmaking ability at 6'3" and 225 pounds. He became an enforcer to clean up everything in the box and free things up for the likes of Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas, finishing his NFL career with 4 Pro Bowls, 2 second-team All-Pro selections, and a Super Bowl ring. Along with Devin Witherspoon, the Seahawks are hoping that they've found another building block to start a new Legion of Boom era in Seattle by drafting Emmanwori. So let's dive into the tape from Sunday's breakout performance to show you just how dominant he was in today's episode of Best Available. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Make sure that you are subscribed on YouTube if you're not already. You can follow us on socials at BestAvailableYT. And we have a holiday sale going on right now for our memberships as a way to promote and support the channel. If you want full access to my NFL Draft Big Board, we've got a Big Board episode coming up on Friday, but you'll only get a brief look at all of the rankings for this upcoming draft class. If you want to suggest future videos, if you want additional benefits during the off season, there's all kinds of stuff that we're doing with that membership, and now it is just $1.99 a month for the rest of the holiday season. So if you've been considering becoming a supporter and just need that extra nudge, hopefully this will get you over the edge. Memberships are a huge way to support this channel, so highly encourage you to take a look at that. I've left details to that in the episode description. So thank you so much for your support, and why don't we go ahead and dive into this episode on Nick Emmanwori. What's funny about this game is that Emmanwori didn't even start breaking out until about midway through the second quarter. Not that he was playing poorly by any stretch. He was doing a good job filling the run. It's just, I don't know what switch flipped in him, but this man started playing with his hair on fire the rest of the way. And this might have been his most impressive play to start this video. We've got Emmanwori on the left side of the screen here. And what we're really just going to have is this kind of basic inside zone, right? We're just going to go here. Everyone's going to start climbing and start trying to push bodies, all of that. This guy's going to climb to the second level. The whole thing gets so screwed up. We have this 4-2 front in theory, but because Emmanwori's here, it turns into kind of a 4-3, and Emmanwori just blows up this play, once we get it rolling. So as we go, it looks more like outside zone with, the shoulders and the steps that these guys are taking, but we're trying to combo here. We're going to try and climb to the second level with the center. These two guys are going to try and combo. He's going to try and climb to the backer. It leaves a really tough situation for this tight end who is trying to climb and dig out Emmanwori, the safety. Normally, you're not too worried about this block. This shouldn't be a huge issue because the safety is coming from the backside. He was coming from, extreme width. And with this angle that we're taking in this track, Emmanwori should not be able to get all the way over here, especially if this is sealed, right? Emmanwori is a different cat. This guy feels like he plays almost as much linebacker, if not more, than he does safety. But his ability to just fly downfield, he is beating the linebacker to this block. This center climbs to this linebacker. This guy's hooked. Somehow he feels this block and the fact that this lineman is tied up here and finds a way to get around all of this and then finds the hole and then just clocks Bijan Robinson. And if you watch this play, all in one sequence, that speed to avoid getting blocked and then just fire off like a missile, take the right angle. This is uncanny, rare stuff from a box safety to have that kind of closing speed to beat blocks on the backside and then be the one to make the play. I'm blown away by this kind of athletic ability and instincts to feel how to get around the blockers without taking himself out of the play. Again, he's probably the guy we're theoretically the least worried about on this play. We got this edge to worry about, setting the edge. We've got to make sure we displace this D lineman. We got to make sure this D lineman doesn't penetrate. We've got to climb to these two backers. This guy we're just trying to seal off on the backside. But no, Emmanwori's just, again, a different kind of guy at the position, and he flies in to make this play. This is the blocked field goal. We've got Emmanwori all the way on the side here. It's important you know where he is all the way on that far right side. What he does here doesn't make any sense to me. This is phenomenal bend around the edge, but he gets chipped here and looks like he's losing his balance. The bend and body control to stay upright through this and dive. I can't process the control and timing and getting the hand there. I'm not too much of a field goal block expert, but I know bend when I see it. And I'm telling you, that's like alien levels of bend and speed around the edge. And then the balance and control and concentration to get that one hand up while he's diving through the air. The technique I was taught when we coach kids on field goal block was two hands, like kind of like this, like you're catching the pass right at where the long snapper is. You want to aim down low at that, at its lowest point because there's less variance of where the ball might go. But obviously it's hard to time out this, when you have so much ground to cover. So Emmanwori's just throwing a hand up there when he's in the way. That's not how I was ever taught to coach it. And, but I never had to work with true aliens like this guy. My brain's still having a hard time processing the bend, the body control, and the timing there. It's freakish stuff. You can say a lot of things about him. You cannot say he did not earn that field goal block because that is an incredibly athletic play. Emmanwori looks so comfortable against the run, and I can see why coming into South Carolina as a freshman, he was viewed as a hybrid linebacker safety because McDonald really likes using this guy as an off-ball linebacker. And you can see here, he's just going to blow up this outside zone play. So we have a motion coming across the formation this way. We're going to bump over all of these linebackers and Emmanwori to the right. And I think that messes up this right tackle right here on outside zone. He's so ready to get width that Emmanwori reacts so quickly to the outside zone. He just ends up splitting the difference here. You can see all the shoulders turned, the steps Bijan Robinson, or no, I believe that's Tyler Algier in the backfield are taking. Emmanwori reads that so quickly, he fires downhill. This guy went too wide on the outside zone, so a bit of a missed assignment by him, but that's not why I wanted to show the play. Yes, it's a good closing speed. The tackling technique here, low and shoot those arms. Too many young DBs, whether it's college or the NFL, just like to throw a shoulder or do that meme of the Simpsons kid diving through the window head first. There's no technique when you do that. I know it looks cool when you land the hit, but man, is that just a great way to miss some tackles. Even where it gets low here, wraps up the hamstrings. You can literally see it right here. He is hooking those hamstrings and he is launching Algier into the air. So, yes, it's impressive that he's able to get into the backfield so quickly. I think that part's more of a missed assignment. To me, it's the tackling technique here that he gets low and wraps at those hamstrings. No matter how powerful of a running back you are, you're just not escaping a clean tackle technique like that. That is an outstanding play by Emmanwori. We're going to talk about some areas of improvement. Don't mean it to knock Emmanwori, but he's a rookie. Like, I don't think it's realistic to expect, even the best of rookies to be perfect guys coming into the league. And he was a second round pick, so we're going to give him a little grace here. But we've got him up at the top of the screen. He is man on Kyle Pitts. He's going to get targeted deep on this corner route, and he is in great position for this play. He is in the hip pocket. He's just not winning the hand fight battle. He's having a hard time tracking that ball. He stumbles a little bit, gives up too much cushion. And I think the frustrating part of it here is we talked in the beginning of this video. This is a perfect RAS or relative athletic score guy. He's got all the explosiveness and vertical leaping ability in the world. Track that ball a little bit better and make a play on it. Don't give up this ground. I know he stumbles a little bit. I think he's just losing the hand fighting battle here. This will come with time. You can see I think he's too worried about getting a DPI call. He kind of lets Pitts, win this hand battle to create that cushion. And you can say, technically that's OPI. They're never going to call it when it's this subtle. It's just one of those areas of improvement for Emmanwori. When he gets targeted deep, want to see him a bit more comfortable, not stumbling. Also win that hand battle to prevent, the extra cushion that, more savvy veterans are going to get on him in man. Otherwise, teams might try and target him deep a bit more. I'm not too concerned about it, long term, because he's in great position here. I mean, he's in the hip pocket. He gets his head turned. Everything up to this moment, I think, is outstanding. It's just, these subtle things that, teams are going to get or players are going to get away with against him is where he'll, start to improve the more comfortable he gets at the NFL level. We're going to look at his interception. It is not the most impressive play. I just want to give you a warning about it, but we have Emmanwori here. But there's something about it I wanted to give credit to. So he's bumping out to the slot on this. We have a quick hitch here on the number 3 receiver. If you're new to the channel, when we say number 3 receiver, it's from the sideline. 1, 2, 3. So he's now over the number 2 receiver. We're throwing to the number 3 on a quick hitch and, breaks down on that ball. Number 21 does a great job there breaking it up. The ball ends up hitting Witherspoon right in the chest face area off the deflection. And what I appreciate on this interception, it bounces off of him because he's not ready for it, but the concentration to react to it, see it, and dive for it in the air, that's a solid play. We'll give him the concentration and body control there to make sure he hauls that in and makes the most of it. Again, is it the most impressive play? Did he do anything spectacular scheme-wise? None of that, but I do appreciate the concentration and, way to go, man. Get an interception in the NFL. We'll even take the gift wrap ones when we can. All right, we got one of these simulated pressure looks, right? We got Emmanwori here in the box. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys lined up here. We've got our off-ball linebackers mugged up, which means up on the line, standing up. We've got to really get this protection call right to make sure this works, right? And it seems like from what I've seen on replay that we're trying to slide to this side, right? We're trying to move the center, guard, and tackle, step to their left, and then we're going to leave, hopefully, 2 guys on an island here, and then have the running back pick up in pass pro here. But, man, Mike Macdonald, the way he schemes this up is pretty beautiful. We do have Emmanwori coming from depth to rush, and then we're going to drop the linebacker, and we're going to drop number 7. I think that is Nwosu, the edge. So we're going to disguise this pressure. And because of that, we have messed up Seattle's protections. They guessed wrong on where the pressure is coming from. We ended up having 2 guys blocking 1 here, and then we have 4 on 4 in theory if the running back can get here in time. He's a little delayed. We turn this into kind of a twist with 48. So the running back sees him. He's like most dangerous man. Got to pick him up. And then the guard follows with him, which leaves Emmanwori on a free rush in here. Whole thing gets really dicey really fast. Emmanwori slips through. I love simulated pressure looks like this. It can really mess up your protection call. And if you get it wrong and one guy slips up, the whole thing, falls apart. And man, Mike Macdonald's so good at this. Not only to do the simulated pressure, but to make sure that this linebacker stunts inside to not only force the guard to follow him, but also have the running back. So then we have 2 guys getting blocked by 2 people. We've got number 94 being double teamed here, and then we've got 48 being double teamed by the guard and the running back. Someone's going to get open when you have 6 men in, 5 guys rushing, but 2 of those 5 are double teamed. The math does not math anymore for the O-line. It helps Emmanwori get a sack. And when you have closing speed like this guy does, man, number 3, he can just fly downhill. Mike Macdonald's one of my favorite defensive minds in football right now because he's just thinking of ways to draw up pressures like this. His ability to simulate pressures and mess up pass protection calls. I don't know how many other defensive coordinators are doing what he's doing right now. This is the last one of the day. This is a 4th and goal look. And it made me want to shake Emmanwori just a little bit. Again, he's a rookie. He's going to get comfortable with these things. But given the context and near the goal line, I just wanted to scream at him watching this play. So we're bumping a receiver inside, which means we're changing responsibilities for these two DBs. He's suddenly on the inside release. So they end up doing a switch release after the motion, which means he's got to, trade off again as far as his responsibilities. Really like how they do that. So he does a great job here, sifting through the motion and the switch release by these two receivers. And he's picking up here. And all this ends up being his mesh. So we got 2 drag routes going here and here to create traffic, cause guys to slip up. And Emmanwori, avoids getting tripped up on this mesh, but then he just stops like it's a zone drop. I don't know why he stopped. You shouldn't be worried about Kirk Cousins scrambling. This is an old version of Kirk Cousins, and by stopping, he just leaves the drag route, wide open, and his teammate comes and bails him out by triggering downhill. But I don't understand why. He's right here again. Witherspoon just stops running and following this drag route, and I would say maybe they're exchanging the mesh. But this guy's following his receiver the whole way too. So I've just got questions of what he's thinking here. And, hesitancy is going to happen again with rookies. I'm not going to just, have a declarative statement about his level of player effort or anything like that. I think that's patently absurd for one play from a guy's rookie year. But something I just had some questions about given the context. It's never going to be perfect with any rookie. I don't care if it's the number 1 pick, especially in their first season. But man, you can see the highs with this guy or why he is, suddenly in that defensive rookie of the year conversation. Such a gigantic, explosive, versatile safety that plays a lot of linebacker. This guy is the perfect chess piece for Mike McDonald's scheme. And I love that they're using him and letting him roam wild. It's really exciting stuff. Cannot wait to see what the future holds for Emmanwori, especially as cleans up some of these other things we talked about in today's video. Let me know what you think of Emmanwori. I know we've got plenty of Seahawks subscribers already, or if you're new to the channel, I'm curious what the current feeling is about Emmanwori, because what a fun game that was for him to make a statement. Really excited to see what the future holds. We will be back on Friday with our big board. We're going to unveil my favorite, the best prospects in the 2026 draft class. Now that we're out of conference championship season, we're into bowl season, best time of year. We got NFL playoff pictures ramping up, college football playoff in a couple weeks. So perfect time to go through a little bit of the big board. Again, if you want full access to the entire rankings, consider becoming a member for just $1.99 a month with our holiday sale. That'll do it for today. We will see you on Friday, and thank you so much for watching today's episode.